We appreciate the Tennessee Titans and Nissan Stadium for hosting us today. The appeals process for any action, any decision of this body can be found at the top of today's agenda. First, I'd like to start off acknowledging the recent passing of Kitty Moon Emery. Kitty was a founding member of the Sports Authority, and she served as chair, serving this body for over a decade. Her leadership was instrumental in bringing both the Tennessee Titans and the Nashville Predators to our city. She served as a role model to many of us in our community, and even our mayor reflected upon Kitty as a devoted civic leader. Our thoughts are with her family and friends during this very difficult time, and if you would please join me in a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. The mayor's office with the Nashville Career Advancement Center is currently in the midst of a youth employment initiative. The initiative is Opportunity Now, and our friend Ronnie Stein is with us from the mayor's office to brief us on this project and tell us how we can all be involved.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the authority, friends behind me. It's always wonderful to be here. I spent part of my career with former Councilman Ryman working on things that brought all of this to be, and so it's a great pleasure that I'm here. I also will tell you, for those of you all that are concerned, and that Ronnie Stein and a microphone and brevity were never one and the same, but today I will be brief. On behalf of Mayor Berry, I thank you for the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Opportunity Now. Coming out of a series of meetings with young people throughout our community and some of the issues around youth violence, the mayor appropriately focused on what has been a real desert in our community in the summertime for young people for the last 10 or 15 years. There have been some wonderful small things, but on a large scale, we really have not met the needs of our young people and their families in the summertime. And so she picked appropriately, because of the importance for young people of developing job skills, getting a little paycheck, and connecting to community, the creation of Opportunity Now. This is based on a program in Boston and other places. She came back from there and told us we were going to provide 10,000 opportunities for young people. This was last February. Last summer, we managed to talk her down from that to this summer, but then as we discovered, it's taken Boston, got to 10,000 last summer after 21 years and 25 full-time people across 4 organizations. We're doing this much more efficiently. The core of Opportunity Now is this. 10,000 opportunities for young people. 7,500 of those will be direct hire, private to young person employee. We're creating a portal that will be operational by the end of next week. Some employers are already on it. The employers will put what they need on it. Young people will put their applications on it, and they'll be direct hire. I will tell you all that, because it's appropriate here, our single largest provider of opportunities right now is Delaware North, that is providing some 14, and I don't know if anyone is here from Delaware North, but we love you, some 1,400 opportunities for young people, seasonal opportunities for young people on our portal. That's a major component. The other major component, it will be 2,500 supported positions, supported by both the government and private contributions, that will be intense internship kinds of opportunities in which young people will not only have meaningful employment for the summer, but they're also going to get support from local nonprofits, education about financial literacy and empowerment, soft skills kinds of training, and providing the pretty intense support during the summertime. That hopefully will grow over time. We estimate that those internships are costing us about $2,500 a young person, including their wages, including the mentoring, and all of those components. The program is for 14 to 24-year-olds. Obviously, the component for 18 to 24-year-olds will be year-round, and this is a free portal for employers to provide their opportunities there and young people year-round to hook into. I'm telling you an awful lot very quickly. Obviously, you have some materials in front of you. We are being staffed, and this program is being run by Ellen Zinkowitz at the Nashville Career Advancement Center, which are really top-notch folks in helping us get this together and run it day to day. The portal will be up and running next week. My ask to all of you all, as both citizens as both employers and to my friends from the Titans and the Predators that are behind me, the more you can talk about this in the community in appropriate ways, the more vendors and employers find out about it. And to the extent you can pass the word about this opportunity, it helps us tremendously. I would also say, and I would be remiss if I didn't say, in addition to employment opportunities and internship opportunities, we are also, this is a public-private financed operation. All told, it's going to be about a $4.5 million project ongoing, and that includes, obviously, a tremendous amount of that is wages. We do have a fund at the Community Foundation of Nashville, the Opportunity Now Fund, that if indeed you want to be supportive, but you don't have an internship or an employment opportunity, you could help us provide that internship at a local nonprofit or community organization that might not have the funds to support the young person, but does have the meaningful work. I'll take a breath now. I hope I gave you enough overview, and glad to answer any questions, and don't want to take up any more time from.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a quick question. How do the kids find out about it? Through school?
Oh, yeah, there's going to be, the moment the word is out, we're going to be inundated, so we're waiting till the portal's ready next week. But yes, both through the Academies program and through principals, every young person in the public school system will know about this and actually get help going on the portal if they want to. Obviously, we're using a variety of social media. Our Mayor's Youth Council, in conjunction with DVL Siegenthaler, is putting together a social media campaign to hit all the rest of the young people in Nashville that may not be in public schools. So you'll hear about this all over the place. We just, if the hint of a job comes out, we are immediately inundated in the mayor's office with phone calls, so we wanted to be ready with the portal.
Yeah.
And it's been a massive undertaking to get that together, and it's going to be ultimately be transformational for this community, for families, and we also believe going to provide valuable resource to employers in helping create the workforce that we all know we need going forward.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just had, this is wonderful, and thank you for spending your time doing this. I want to make sure I know what employers can do. One, they can get on the portal and just post a job that doesn't really go through your office, but the office is offering the portal for the jobs.
Offering the portal, and then there is some supports, and the young person that signs up gets a lot of sort of social media kind of literacy training and that kind of support. So that's direct. If someone wants the more intensive internship program, and frankly, our whole right now is really, we thought it was going to be 14 to 16-year-olds, but there are a variety of community organizations, arts organizations, et cetera, have stepped up there. Really, internships for 16 to 18-year-olds is our whole right now. And that, for an employer that wants that intensive experience for a young person to support that, is about $2,500. There's a sliding scale there. And that would also, incidentally, for the particularly small employers, Opportunity Now would be the employer of record for that intern. So all of the HR work, getting all the paperwork, providing the fund, the pay, and all of that would be taken care of by Opportunity Now. For the internship, the employer is charged with supervising that young person in a supportive, meaningful way in their work.
So I just want to make sure the employer is asked to make a $2,500 contribution
for the internship, not if they're direct hire. If they just want to provide the job there, they go into our portal, we then match with young people, and then it goes through the employer's HR program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks so very much for letting me come. Good luck to you all. Keep up good work.
Thank you. Our meeting minutes from our last meeting from January 19th are in your board packet. Are there any changes, revisions? Would entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor to approve the minutes? Aye. Minutes are approved. At this time, we have our Finance Committee report by our Finance Chair, Margaret Bim. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we don't. We have our Executive Director's report by Monica Facknesson. Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. First, I just want to echo our chair's comments about Kitty Moon Emery. Kitty was the Sports Authority chairwoman when I first came to the Sports Authority many years ago, and she loved this board. Anytime I see Pat, he tells me. When he called me the morning that she passed, I asked him, I said, well, how can we support you? What can we do? And he said, just please ask the Sports Authority to continue their great work. He said she loved this board. So I know that that's what we're going to do. I would like to thank everyone who attended the visitation and the service, and it meant a lot to Pat. He told Kim and I that, and I know we'll keep them and his family in our thoughts and prayers as they move forward. I think for anyone who's been down that road, it's a hard one to walk, I'm sure. You have the agenda before you. Following my report, the board will hear from the Finance Committee, a report which will include recommendations on the Titans capital expense reimbursement request and also on the Sports Authority's FY18 operating budget. Following the committee report and before we hear from Nissan Stadium and the Tennessee Titans, there'll be a time for the board to ask questions. That's something that we discussed last month as we looked at the new meeting structure. So we'll do that. Then we'll move into the Nissan Stadium report. Last month, too, as we elected officers, the follow-up is committees and liaisons, and we want to make sure that you all are aware of the board members that are serving in this capacity. We have two standing committees, the Finance Committee, which is chaired by Margaret Bim. Ralph Perry is the vice chair, and Dudley West is also agreed to serve on this committee for 2017. And then we also have an executive or a personnel committee, which is comprised of our officers, Kim and Kathy and Christy Wilson, and then Chuck Merriweather is the fourth member of that committee. So we appreciate your willingness to serve again in that capacity. And then our facility liaisons at Bridgestone Arena, we have Emmett Wynn. Bob Obrata is serving as the liaison to First Tennessee Park. And then, as you know, Lisa Howe is the liaison here at Nissan Stadium. So we really appreciate the work and the effort and the commitment that you all have made to serving in these roles, and feel like it's very important to just the overall efficiency of the board. As many of you know, Metro, we're in budget season, and you'll hear more about that from the Finance Committee. But I did want to quickly walk you through the first part of the process. February 28th, the Sports Authority will have our pre-budget meeting with the Finance Director. And then March 13th through the 17th will be the mayor's conversations with the departments. And then March 27th through the 31st will be the public investment plan hearings. And of course, you all are welcome to attend any of those meetings. And as the dates are finalized, we'll make sure that you receive that information. I also wanted to briefly discuss soccer because it's one of the topics that I am asked about regularly, and I have to assume that you all are also being asked about it as you're in your daily lives and doing what you do. There's a lot of work to be done, and there are many decisions that need to be made. What we know at this point is that the MLS Organizing Committee, which is headed by Bill Haggerty and Will Alexander, and the lead investor, John Ingram, they've submitted their MLS package over to Major League Soccer. They're very optimistic, and we believe Nashville is well positioned in many areas, and we're excited about it. Clearly, one of the most important pieces in this whole thing is, or for any city seeking an expansion team, is going to be the stadium plan. And so the mayor said that the fairgrounds is the best place, the only place, and we're excited about that. We're looking forward to hearing more. What we also know, and I think is important that we don't lose sight of, is that we will have professional soccer in Nashville next year. Nashville SC will kick off their inaugural season in March of next year, and so we want them to be successful. We need them to be successful, and we will hear from them at a more appropriate time as they get ready to kick off what will be an exciting year. So we will keep you all abreast as we receive more information, especially as it relates to the stadium. But feel free to always reach out to us with any specific questions that you have, and we will do our best to get answers. Finally, and this was fun, I wanted to mention on February 1st, we had about 150 people that gathered in the club at First Tennessee Park for really what was an incredible forum hosted by the United State of Women and Play Like a Girl. The forum included several Olympians and the president and CEO of the WNBA Dallas Wings. There were high school and college athletes there, a lot of softball players. And the event was live streamed across the country as part of National Girls and Women in Sports Day. And they had 900,000 views. And so it was an exciting forum. Would love to thank everyone who participated, who came out. It was a good time.
Monica, you left off that you spoke. The mayor was unable to attend, and Monica did a tremendous job and really gave a personal account of her story, and it was very inspiring and impressive, and so I'm glad you had 900,000 views. And if we had
a good time.
If the board hasn't seen it, it'd be great to share. It really was, you did a fantastic job and represented us well. Thank you.
Thank you for being there. That was good. If there are no questions, then that concludes my report.
Okay, I believe at this time we will hear our Finance Committee's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
We had a really good meeting on Monday, and I want to, in addition to thanking Vice Chair Ralph Perry and Dudley West for being there, for Katana for being there, Lisa, Emmett, Kathy, your presence is really helpful to us and informative, so thank you for being there. If you could keep your eyes on the Executive Director report, because I think that gives a really good summary, and Monica and I discussed it. I would just direct you to this report. We had two items that we'd like for the board to consider today. And the first is the consideration of the Titans CapEx reimbursement request for Nissan Stadium. And you'll see there in her report, there's some bullets there that I think is a good list of these reimbursement requests in a total of $1,017,873.37. This report here, this 3-page report that's just right in the back of your tab number 4, is a more itemized list of these expenditures. And of course, Alicia's done a great job for us in giving you all the backup here in your notebook for any questions that you might have. Oh, tab 3, sorry, tab 3. So the first, the itemization is in the first 3 pages in tab 3, and then the invoices and backup that the Titans have supplied are there for your review. And of course, we were able to look at those too at our Finance Committee meeting. The staff recommended, and the committee agreed, and as to the staff recommendation, but I want to tell you what that is. We recommended that all of the expenditures that you see in the bullet points there be approved, except for the inflatable cover for the field in the amount of $479,180.40. And that matter is going to be deferred. So there was really no action, in other words, on that particular request. We recommend approval that all the other requests be paid, and that 2 of them, that is the expansion joint replacement test area and $157,580, and the Nissan Stadium Leak project for $20,495.49, that we wait to see whether there's money still available in the Phase 2 part of our stadium renovations. So we are requesting that this board approve the payment of that, and that the payment be paid out of Phase 2, but if that's not available, then obviously be paid out of the CapEx replacement funds. I want to particularly thank our strong team that met with the Titans team, and that's Lisa Howe, our liaison, and Margaret Darby. We always appreciate what you do for us. We really do. And Bob Lackey, Alicia, and Larry. So thank you so much for being a part of that. And the Titans, you have presented us with a lot of good information. You've gotten back to us when we had questions, and we really appreciate the cooperation that's shown going through this process. So on behalf of the Finance Committee, I move that we approve all these items except for the inflatable cover for the field and that we determine how to pay for the 2 items I mentioned from the Phase 2 funds.
We have a motion. Do we have motion and second? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And again, thank you for everybody who participated in this process. I know it takes a while, so thank you very much. Item 2, I'd like to turn over first to Monica to present our budget, and then I'll make a motion on behalf of the Finance Committee.
Thank you. If you'll turn to tab 4, you'll see our budget presentation for FY18. We're proposing a 3-year budget of $859,100. Our current budget for FY17 is $832,600. More than half of that budget is related to building and various insurances. There's very little of the budget that the Sports Authority as a department really affects or that we dictate. Internal service fees is the other major portion that is included in that budget. When we look at a 3-year projection, which is what the mayor's office has asked the departments to make, the main budget improvement or budget modification is really tied to what's going through the Metro Council right now, which is a stormwater ordinance. If it passed, I think, first reading, if it passes, then clearly there will be some implications for Nissan Stadium. The Sports Authority pays the majority of stormwater fees here at the facility. We are told that should this ordinance pass, we should see our stormwater rates jump up probably to $35,000, maybe $40,000. Currently, we pay about $12,600. So we are requesting an increase of $26,500 to cover the cost of the insurance, the stormwater rate if it passes. If it does not pass for some reason, then we will stay where we are. And that's really our budget. Now, if you look, and it's because it's a 3-year projection, I think that the natural question is, do we expect any other increases over 3 years? There will always be increases, and most of those will be made internally through Metro Finance as they get information on insurance. Also, any cost of living adjustments, merit increases for staff are going to be added to our budget through the Finance Department. So as you look at what we have here before you, in these particular line items and categories, we really aren't expecting any changes. The other portion of the budget is the public investment plan. I think you all are very familiar with this process as we walked through it last year, and we're excited to receive funding for Quentin's position, the special event coordinator. We just found out a couple days ago that we are not being asked to submit a second-year PIP for that position, which I think is great news. So we will not be seeking a PIP for Quentin's position. So he's here, and we're excited about that. There's another public investment plan we are in the process of working through, and we're working with Metro Health Department, and we've had some great conversations with some of our facility partners. And this is for funding for a Mamava. Mamavas are pods, mobile pods or kiosks that are for breastfeeding, nursing moms, just to provide a clean, a private place for them to do that, and we know that that is important. There are several different facilities, arenas, stadiums across the country that have purchased these for their fans and trying to make sure that they meet the needs of a very specific demographic. So if you look at the Minnesota Vikings, they have one, the San Francisco 49ers, there's some other arenas and convention centers. So this is something that has been on the radar of the Public Health Department for a couple of years, and we hope to work with them to see if we can bring Mamava to our facilities. So that is, that's our budget. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer those at this time.
And Our budget includes a participation in the Opportunity Now as well.
The opportunity, yes. So the
Initiative.
Opportunity Now, because it will start in June, part of our current budget will
Cover it.
will cover those expenses, and then there will be a little bit out of the FY18 budget that will go towards that position. And we're excited to be bringing an intern on for 6 weeks this summer.
So are there any other questions? Great report. Go ahead.
It's the total budget's $859,100 plus a contingency of $26,500 for stormwater, an additional amount for stormwater.
The 859,100 includes
Does it include that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The increase in the stormwater?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Any other questions? Well, the Finance Committee moved and approved the budget in the amount of $859,100 and to allow the Sports Authority to also present the PIP as Monica just stated. So we move approval of the budget along with the PIP.
Awesome.
Motion. All in favor of the recommended budget for the Sports Authority?
Aye.
The budget is approved.
And I just wanted to add, too, that we really appreciated the update that our fiscal year 17 will be below or at budget, too. So we're in good shape.
We are in good shape.
Thank you, Margaret, for that report.
Sure.
Making sure I'm on the right section here. Facility questions. As we mentioned last month, we announced changes to our meeting structure. We will still receive our monthly written reports from all of our facility partners. The board has had an opportunity to review those. At this time, we'd like to keep a agenda item on the board for an opportunity, agenda item on allowing any board members to ask questions about those reports. And if there are any questions, we will entertain those at this time. And in a few minutes, next up, the Titans will give an oral report today. So if there are any questions for the...
I have a question for Doug Scopel. I love that the colleges play there. Do you buy your tickets at the Sounds Stadium, or do you go to the school or just buy them online? Or does
So we're hosting, Vanderbilt plays 2 games, Vanderbilt Belmont, Vanderbilt Lipscomb on back-to-back Tuesdays at the end of March. We sell them through our box office, but we're partnered with Ticketmaster, so I think Vanderbilt is a Ticketmaster building. I don't know about the other 2, but we ask the schools to kind of promote and run them through our ticket office because our box office knows our facility better than any of their ticket offices do. But each school is actively promoting the game, but telling them to go to kind of NashvilleSounds.com or whatever the link is for that game.
And how many tickets do you guys usually sell?
Well, last year was the first one that we did. We hosted Vanderbilt Belmont, and we had about 5,000 at that game, which is about half capacity. So this will be the second year. So we're, Lipscomb's the first year, so we're optimistic their fans will come out. And a lot of it's weather dependent in March. It's tough to say, but it's a pretty good crowd for a college game.
Thank you.
Yep. Tuesday, March 21st is Vanderbilt versus Belmont. Tuesday, March 28th is Vanderbilt versus Lipscomb.
While you're up here, will you remind us when the Sounds Ballpark reopens again for the season?
Yeah, first game for us this year is on Tuesday, April 11th. So we open on the season on the road the previous Thursday, I think on the 6th, and our home game is on the 11th.
When do the season ticket holders get their packets?
Those will be sometime in mid-March. Information should be going on. Adam, do you know the exact?
All right.
Mid-March, we're still finalizing the date. We're going to host an event at the ballpark like we did last year for that, and you'll receive email or phone call or however our ticket staff gets that to you.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other questions for Doug?
All right.
Thanks. Okay, great. At this time, we have our Nissan Stadium report. We're pleased to have Steve Underwood, CEO and President of the Tennessee Titans, with us today to kick it off.
Madam Chairperson and members, welcome to Nissan Stadium. As you know, this building's at the center of our universe, and on behalf of our ownership and my colleagues behind me and our stadium staff, we extend our warmest welcome. We're glad to have you here and count it a privilege for you to be in our building. We have a great report for you today. It'll include an update for virtually everything that we have going on at the building. And I'm proud to say that our new general manager, our newer general manager, is here. And I'll have the privilege of introducing him in a few minutes. With your permission, Madam Chairperson, I would like to offer a few words of personal tribute to the late Kitty Moon Emery. I had the privilege of knowing Kitty for almost 20 years, not only as a member and chairperson of this authority, but also as a friend and colleague. Her work for the Sports Authority, of course, was significant, particularly as it pertained to our club, but she also led a life of personal, professional success and public service. She was a friend and confidant of our original owner and founder, the late K.S. Adams, Jr., and served on an advisory board that he appointed for help during our relocation. Kitty was, of course, instrumental, along with a group of others, in our relocation to Nashville from Houston. So as an organization and as an individual, I felt privileged to have known and worked with her and to have had the benefit of her wisdom and her help. May God bless her memory. 13 months ago, I had the honor of working with our controlling owner, Amy Adams Strunk, in the selection of our new general manager. That was a process that went into some detail and involved a number of other members of our senior staff. And we had a great collection of persons who she interviewed, each for 4 or more hours, including our incumbent general manager. But despite the quality of that field of candidates, John stood out, and our owner's instinct was to select him. He was head and shoulders above, we thought, of the other candidates, or at least some of the other candidates. And her decision was based on John's quiet confidence, his experience, and his proven ability with other clubs. Her instincts have proven correct. During his first year as our general manager, John and our coaches and players presided over one of the greatest turnarounds in our club's history. And we think that the best is still yet to come. We feel great having him here this morning. I know that you would much rather listen to him than to me, and so we have asked him if he would make a short set of personal remarks and comments about his first year as general manager. Ladies and gentlemen, John Robinson, Executive Vice President and General Manager of Tennessee Titans.
Thank you, Steve. Good morning. It's really hard to believe that it's been almost a year, a little over a year, since I came back to my home state and in the role that I currently preside as general manager of the Titans. You know, we took over a team that was had won 5 games in 2 years, a team that had finished last in the division in the previous 2 seasons, a team that held the 2nd overall pick and the 1st overall pick in those drafts, a spot you really normally do not want to be in. Well, all that's changed. Coach Mularkey and I set out with a vision of what we wanted our football team to be about. Amy Adams Strunk, her family, the support staff with the Titans organization, Steve Underwood, Bob Flynn, Janine Coffin, Robbie Boren, Stuart Spears, Ralph Ockenfels. They all bought into what we wanted to be about as a team and what we wanted to be about as an organization. It wasn't one thing that one person did. It was a group of like-minded individuals that rallied together to put Titan football back on the map. There's several ways that you can go about building a football team. You can trade for players, you can sign them in free agency, you can claim them off waivers when another team cuts them, and then obviously the draft. We touched every facet last year in building last year's football team. We traded for DeMarco Murray and Dennis Kelly. We signed Ben Jones, Rashard Matthews, Bryce McCain, Sean Spence, all who were key in our turnaround. We claimed Josh Klein and Nate Palmer off waivers. They weren't good enough for our team, but they started games for our football team and helped us win. And you can sign your own players, and we re-signed Delaney Walker to a contract extension last year as well. And then the draft. You know, I mentioned we had the first overall pick, one pick. We took that pick and we turned that into a first team all-pro rookie right tackle in Jack Conklin, Derrick Henry, who's going to be a stud running back, Austin Johnson, who was a pivotal piece in our defensive line rotation, and not to mention the 5th overall pick in this year's draft and a 3rd round selection in this year's draft. So one pick into 5 players, or maybe more. You know, Coach Mularkey and his staff really did a great job of coaching our football team, of instilling the tough-minded, team-first, dependable attitude in those guys. And nobody really embodied that more than Tim Shaw. And we made Tim Shaw a Titan for life. He brought opponents out here on this field as a special teams player and other opponents across the country in other NFL stadiums. Tim's opponent now is ALS, and he fights it every day. And as much as an inspiration as we were to him, he was an inspiration to us, and he binded our locker room and formed a brotherhood in there. And I can't say enough good things about Tim. So nine wins, up from, 2 or 3 the previous year. Pretty good start, got a good building block. We just finished up some free agent meetings with our coaches, just finished up free agent meetings with our scouts. Our college scouts are coming in this next week in preparation for the combine. We've got a busy few months ahead. But we've got a foundation laid. We've got an identity about what we want to be as a football team. We're trying to, like I said, put Titan football back on the map in the National Football League. Thanks to all of you. Thank you for your support. Thank the city, thank the state, and all of our fans out there. I don't know if anybody has any questions for me. As one of my predecessors, Bill Belichick, taught me, I'll try to be as vague as possible in my answers. But if you have any questions, feel free to fire away.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I guess we can assume that your #1 pick this year in the draft would not be a quarterback.
That would probably be a fair statement. I would tend to concur with that statement.
Now, how is Marcus doing?
He's doing good. Yeah, he's doing good. He's rehabbing. We expect a full recovery from him. You know, Marcus embodies the spirit that I talked about. He's one of the hardest workers on our football team. He's the leader of our football team. We're glad we got him. We just got to continue to add other players to the team to help him win football games.
Some more protection around him, right?
We've got him protected pretty good. We got maybe a few more pieces of protection. There are a couple guys to go catch the ball for him, or hand it to, or stop the other team from scoring.
All right. I saw him on TV yesterday on the news, and he was riding one of those scooters. Rehabbing. Looking good.
He's still pretty athletic on the scooter.
Yeah. He didn't fall.
So, John, on behalf of the Sports Authority, we welcome you to Nashville and back to the state of Tennessee, and we're excited about what's coming up with the Titans, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We're just getting started, so stay tuned. Tighten up.
All right.
Thank you, John. Bob Flynn, Nissan Stadium, welcome. Glad to have you all here. There is going to be lunch afterwards across the way, but you know, I was glad to have John here and just give you his vision. One thing I didn't, you know, when I first met John, his attention to detail is incredible. He walks around St. Thomas and he walks around this place and will say, you know, why is this like that? Why is this like that? You know, we're changing our ways, and that's one thing we were battling was just, you know, this is a new day for us, and you know, John's vision, and everybody bought into it, and that's why as an organization we're getting better. But you know, John is his attention to detail is pretty darn good if you ask me. So, all right. So my stuff will not be as exciting or as interesting as his stuff, but I enjoy it. So, so upcoming events here. We have the CMAs for 4 days in June, June 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and we've had some really good meetings with the CMAs recently. We're always meeting with them, seeing how we can improve, what we can help them with. But, it's 4 great nights here. It's, I forget, it's almost 200,000 people in the building, which is good for all of us to have those seats sold. We have Monster Jam coming back on June 24th, which I'm excited about because last year we had a very good first event. I think next year or this year, I think we'll even have probably about 25% more people in there. So I'm hoping to get around 40,000 in there. So then July 8th is another big day for us. We talked about soccer earlier. Monica brought it up. And, by the way, I want to say thank you to Lisa for everything she's been doing. She's been hand in hand with us with a lot of these events and just knowing what's happening here. So it's been great. So, but on July 8th, we have U.S. men's soccer team coming in here, and we got a doubleheader. So I don't know the teams yet besides U.S. men's, but we'll have 2 games on that Saturday. It should be a great event here. It's the men's World Cup team. And so we know, we had 45,000 here on the July 3rd of 15. And so we expect to have more than that here for this game.
And was it a couple days ago that the tickets went on sale? Is that correct?
There's a pre-sale, and the general public sale is next Tuesday, Robbie? Does that sound better? Yeah. So right now it's all been pre-sale. So, but
that's a critical game as far as showing our support for soccer in this community. And if we don't have tickets yet, we all need to get some and bring a few friends, right?
I think any soccer game we have here, we need to show for the MLS, because I know that's what they're going to be judging us for. So, like I said, I'm always out there looking for other soccer games or concerts or whatever events I can bring into the building or we can bring in the building. And so I don't think we're done yet, but right now that's all we can announce. So now the project update, suite renovations, this is all being paid by ownership, but right now we have 70 on the east side being upgraded, and that will bring it up to just shy of 100, and that will leave 75-ish for next year, which will be the west side. So that's coming along nicely. I'm not sure if you've seen it. We've got something in a highlight tape later, but we're really pleased with the way it turned out, and it just looks a lot better, and we've gotten a lot of good feedback from our suite holders. South Lawn update. I don't know if any of y'all came down Victory. Looks like Monster Jam right now, but in about 6 weeks, it'll be nice. I think 6 weeks. Maybe I put too much pressure on my builders, but it's going to be a paved with pavers, brick pavers. Anybody can use it, but it's going to be, last year for our Titan season, we had a concert and all those things out there. But if it rained or if it was cold and dewy and all that stuff, it'd be like a mud pit. So this year, we have left some green spaces in the corners because I like to have still some green out there, but we're going to have a nice paved area. It'll be lit up at night if we need it lit up, but it'll be just a nicer place to hold pregame activities for the Titans, or CMA wants to use it, or Monster Jam wants to use it, or soccer for just a gathering place. So we're real pleased with the way it's coming along, but when it's finished, I think you all will be happy as well. And I think that was one of those tenant build-outs that we did, and I think we'll all benefit from it. Safety Act update. I think you all saw that I sent out a note about, what we have to do to get into the buildings. So that's part of it. Floyd Hyde, who's in the back, we brought him on as a safety coordinator in December, 3 days before our Safety Act Homeland Security people came by to inspect us. But Floyd's been with us, and he's doing a great job. I mean, he spent 32 years with Metro Police Department, and at the same time, he spent 40 years active or reserve in the Army. I kind of explained that to my wife. She said, 70 years? I said, no, it's together. So, but Floyd's doing a great job, and he's really looking at just everything. We're changing everything, even opening up mail here. This is a strict thing that we have to do for the Homeland Security, and it's going to benefit everybody here in this building. And we hope to submit, I think, by the end of this month. Maybe.
Say again, sir.
Hope to submit it by the end of this month.
Yes, sir.
That's our hope, and then we have about 120 days for them to get back to us. But everything we've gotten back from them has been real positive. You know, it's the nice thing about it, it's going to give us some protection, but also for us as a building, it gives us a way to do things. I mean, we have it documented. We have to do things a certain way for almost every event we have here. So we're excited about that. On top of that, for the NFL, you know, security rating, last year we went from a 1 to a 3, and a 3 is not a good number in this one. This past year, with Steve Underwood's encouragement and ownership encouragement, we took it from a 3 back to a 1. So they were very pleased with what we did. We made a lot of good changes. Floyd was probably one of the changes. Jim Arch has been helpful, but without ownership and Steve saying, we're not going to stand for a 3, we need a 1, because, you know, one of the most important things that we have that come to us are our fans and our guests. So we're very proud that we went from 3 to 1. So next part, I'm going to bring up Jordan. Jordan's going to give you an update on the building phase out 1 and 2, and also the building assessment. But I guess I should ask, any questions real quickly? Okay. Thank you for everything y'all do. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob. Jordan Wyman, Project Manager with Commonwealth Development Group. I don't have a lot on expansion joints today, but since we last met, we have finalized and delivered all of the warranties and O&M manuals for the phase work, or phase 1 work we completed end of last quarter. Also, we have received all the materials for the expansion joint work the end of last month, and we have crews on site mobilized and started demolition as of last week. We're starting our weekly progress meetings with PBG builders as of today, so we'll have those weekly for the next couple months. Budget for phase 2 continues to track favorably, and DBE continues to hold at about 33%. But as we work through phase 2, that number will hopefully go up some, but we'll work through that as we finish. As for the facility assessment, we have received and are finalizing the format and some of the edits for both Bridgestone Arena and Nissan Stadium. We are expected and are on schedule to deliver a final report at the end of this first quarter. So I know it's not a ton, but
And that final report comes to the Monica directly, or?
That's correct. We're working on the distribution now, but yes. Any other questions on expansion joints?
Will you remind me on the number of expansion joints after phase 2, does that mean they were all repaired, or the ones that we could afford and that you prioritized were repaired?
That's the latter of that statement of prioritization for what we could afford.
Okay.
Yeah, on the East Club level.
What does that mean we have remaining?
I'm sorry?
What do we have remaining then that we weren't able to address?
The West Side Club and then half of the lower level.
Okay.
So the level that's suspended above the service level.
Okay.
And that the remainder of those joints are a part of the facility assessment.
Got it. Thanks, that's helpful.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Jordan.
All right, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well today. My name's Janine Kaufman. I'm Chief Financial Officer and Senior Vice President here at the Titans. I know Kim always likes us to introduce ourselves, so I didn't want to leave that part out. Today, we're going to kind of run through the financials. If anyone has any questions as I go through, I'll take those as we flip, and then we'll cover the CapEx communication tool as well. So we'll start off with the ticket tax summary. The ticket tax is $3. It is divided into two different funds, the $2 fund and the dollar fund. The $2 fund was used to issue bonds back in 2012. And with that fund, we did numerous upgrades here at the stadium. Those included the large scoreboards, the new control room, the distributed sound system, the express elevators that take you to the upper deck, and then we did 4 fan zones. And so those funds, the $2 fund, are the money that is collected into that is used to debt service those bonds. And I'll give you a quick recap of that. Again, these funds are all kept at Metro by Bob Lackey. I know Bob would love me saying that, I'm sure. And these are actually his spreadsheets that he provides to Monica and I, and then we actually include in our report. And so that fund is sitting well. We have been able to use the money. It's generated enough through the ticket tax to service the debt. And you can see what the debt service is there. I've got readers now. I know, I'm getting old. So we have $608,000 that is still sitting in the $2 user fund, ticket tax fund. The next is the dollar fund. And the dollar fund has been used to the projects that Jordan just spoke of. There were bonds that were issued off the dollar fund, and those projects were the huge seat replacement that we did last year, as well as the expansion joints and some of that concrete repair work. And again, that's that phase 1 and 2 that Larry and Jordan and Ed have done a fabulous job on here at Nissan Stadium. And so that fund, it was $1. It was a separated, the dollar started collecting. We added the additional $1 in fiscal year 2013. That $1 was accumulated and those bonds were issued as well. You can see that the money in that fund as well, we have plenty in that is servicing the debt. So haven't had any issues there. That was a line that was actually drawn down on. And so if you look at the numbers, the bottom there, the outstanding loan currently is $11.8 million. So that is what we have drawn down on the line to date. You can see the balance in the fund is $1.6 million. And so, and they have been using that money then to service the debt as it's collected and paid into the fund by us. Metro then pays down on the loan and the interest. The next slide is what has been paid in ticket tax to date. So since inception, when the ticket tax first came to be, which was in fiscal year 2010, and the total of that is $16.8 million that has been paid in. And just as a reminder, the $3 is added to every bowl event where there is a sold ticket. It is also issued on any comp tickets that are in excess, if the whole bowl is available for sale, in excess of 3,250 comp tickets. And so that calculation is handled by us for all the Titans events, and then we work with all of our other partners on that as well. And then the next slide is the user fee recap, and this is just for the Tennessee Titans. We have finalized the 2016 season. This is all calculated off of the NFL box office statements as well. And then we will be doing an audit again on this particular item. We've had Deloitte, Metro actually hired Deloitte last year. They plan to do that again. So you will actually get an official audit report on this document this summer is when we completed it. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
You know, I've asked in the past about season tickets and filling the stadium. So obviously the season that the Titans had in 2016, it's going to obviously was great for that for purposes of this question. But how do we compare with the amount of user fee that we've received this season versus prior seasons?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that because that was my next bullet point I was going to bring up. So last year, we collected $1.791309, so $1,791,309 from just the Titans user fee. So that was an additional $54,294. We had an additional 18,098 tickets that the user fee was paid for this coming year. As y'all heard John speak earlier, you can feel the enthusiasm, and I think overall the city has really, we feel like we're really turning the organization around. And the other fact I brought to show that, because As much as I love to hear John, we also love the numbers. Well, I love the numbers. And so we recently sent out our renewals for the 2017 season. And so we are tracking renewal-wise. We have renewals of 32% as of today, compared to last year, 16%. So I think that really demonstrates that not only are we moving the team in the right direction, but that the fans here in Nashville really feel that. And our season ticket packages have only been out for renewal about 2 weeks, roughly. And to already have 32% in, I think really speaks volumes about where we're headed with the user fee, Margaret.
Could you remind me how many seats there are in the stadium versus how many season ticket holders there are?
So the total tickets, the total number of seats is 69,616. Our season ticket percent is roughly around 82 to 83%. We are anticipating to grow that number this year. We actually grew it quite a bit last year. We sold a lot more season tickets, and so we hope to push that renewal rate up to the 85 to 88%, which honestly would be really good and actually in line with most other NFL stadiums.
Have we been at 85% in the past?
We have actually, back in the heyday, Margaret, we were somewhere around like 98% of season tickets.
That's what I remember, right.
I mean, we really were.
98% of the seats available.
Of the seats available were season tickets.
Right. That sounds like a good direction.
We really feel like we're headed in the right direction. I think we're really proud of that. As we've talked about before, the ticket office, we have increased our staff at the ticket office with a huge sales staff and service staff. And so the sales staff is really primarily focused on new sales, new PSLs, new season tickets. The service staff, and if you're a PSL holder, you've seen your service staff, I hope, they are there to service the current season ticket holders. And so if you've got your brochure, in there is actually a picture of your service rep, which I love, and so you actually have a person as a season ticket holder that if you have an issue or a problem, you can actually call and reach out to. We've also really tried to make a concerted effort to reach our current season ticket holders with numerous things. Number one is we have our season ticket holder appreciation next Wednesday, which hopefully all of you got an invitation to. We'd love to have you come out to that event. It's tailgating and tuxedos, and so it's casual for everyone, but we are going to have a red carpet kind of playing off the Academy Awards theme, and we are going to give out awards to various season ticket holders who have really gone above and beyond. So it should be a really, really fun event. We also have a draft day party, which will kick off around the draft, week of the draft. We also have movie nights where we have the season ticket holders can come out and actually watch a movie. We will have a scrimmage event again in August. We're also giving away roughly about 500 prizes to people who renew their tickets by that first deadline. Of those prizes, there is the Pro Bowl trip, which someone actually just went on a couple of weeks ago. We are giving away a draft day trip where you actually get to fly to the draft and participate in the draft. There's jersey giveaways, helmet giveaways, autographed items. I mean, there are 500 really, really cool prizes. So, and then of course, as we head into the season, one of the things that we really did last year was if you came to any of the games and you saw where the players run out onto the field, the tunnel. So we had the tunnel lined with season ticket holders, and it was awesome. They were giving high fives to the players as they came out. It was just a great way to really pump up the players. There's also the 12th man flag that the season ticket holders also get to hold on game day. So we've really, and that's just a few items. I know that sounds like a lot, but we've really tried to really service our current season ticket base that I think for a while, we didn't really maybe give them as much love as we should. So, so we're really trying to take that on with the season ticket, with the ticket office. And our ticket office, just to give you an idea, is about 20 people. When I first started, which I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, there was like 5 people in our ticket office. So we have really grown the ticket office in the way of sales and service. I know that was a long-winded answer to your question, so I'm
It was
sorry.
a great answer. Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions on that piece of it? Okay. And that's why I love this format, is it is an opportunity
Yes.
for us to really get to answer the questions and take a deep dive on some of those things. The next thing is the capital fund, and the capital fund is sitting at $1.1 million. And the money that you approved today, those reimbursements, will come out of this fund with the exception of the two items, we hope, that, that you approved, which was the leak repairs and then the initial moisture mitigation work. So that will be deducted out of this fund. And there is a detail of the capital fund since inception. Again, this fund is all kept at Metro, and so Bob Lackey manages this fund as well. And then the next piece is our recap of unfiled reimbursements. This includes what you approved today. So that will, at the next meeting, you'll see that that number, that receivable number, once we get reimbursed for that, will be reduced by what is paid out to us. I had a request that we show kind of the difference from meeting to meeting, so you could see what it was at our last meeting, and you can see we've incurred really only about $29,000 in expenses since our last meeting. So a very small change. Again, that's due a lot to the timing. A lot of the projects as well, we are waiting for the facility assessment to kind of come through. Now, projects we can't wait on, we are moving forward with. But on some of the projects, we are hoping to kind of flesh out some of that once the facility assessment is released. And with that, I am going to kind of go through the CapEx communication tool. There's a few items I just wanted to point out, really on the anticipated list. Again, we have not really added much to the anticipated list since the facility assessment was done, because we really feel like the facility assessment is going to really go into really great detail, more so than this document could ever do. And that's why, you know, we really welcome the facility assessment. The one item I do want to point out on here is and Bob kind of spoke to it, but it is the fencing, security fencing that is going to go around the outside of the stadium, and that's in regards to the Safety Act. So one of the things that when the Homeland Security folks came to visit that they noticed is that our fencing on the outside of the stadium has holes in it. So it's like a big screen, metal screen that's got holes about this big. And so one of the things that they told us we had to do in order to kind of get our designation is to put up a screen around all of that. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, it's so that someone can't just hand through something through that fence. So that's the reason for the fencing, is it is to prevent folks. And I actually watched it. Bob and I were walking around the stadium one day, and I actually saw someone on the inside hand somebody a ticket through the fencing to somebody on the outside. And I said, "Oh, Bob, I get it. Now I see why they want that fencing, is for the opposite. So someone on the outside, even though they've come through the metal detectors, doesn't pass something through to somebody on the inside." So that is what that particular item is. The other item that I would like to call your attention to is the door replacement. And it's the door replacement throughout Nissan Stadium. The doors in the building, again, is part of the Safety Act, but it's just really overall security. They're original to the building, and a lot of the doors, they don't close, they don't shut all the way, they don't lock properly. And so there are doors that are going to have to be replaced throughout the entire facility in order for us to be compliant with the Safety Act. So Bob is working on bids on all of those projects, and once we receive those bids, of course, we'll pass those along and then actually share those with the Sports Authority once he finalizes that. And those were the two items that I really wanted to point out. Do I have any other questions on the CapEx communication tool? Bob or I can certainly answer any questions. Yes, sir.
When do you anticipate the facility assessment will be completed?
So Larry's team is in charge of that, and I believe Jordan said late third quarter. Did I hear that correctly?
Late first quarter.
Late first quarter, sorry.
Second quarter.
Third month. There you go, that's why I was going.
Late March, early April.
Late March or early April.
Will that facility assessment also take into consideration the current receivables that are not covered by the annual capital payment?
No.
Do you know when that report or recommendation will be forthcoming on how to deal with that?
I had a conversation with Bob Lackey last week, and he's had some additional conversations with Rich in the finance department, and I think they are getting closer to seeing how they
Sneaking up on it?
well, looking at budgets and how we start to address it.
If I don't have any other questions, then we are going to wrap it up with an exciting video. It's about 2.5 minutes, but we really wanted to kind of everybody to, you know, picture's worth 1,000 words. And so it's just a quick little video that will kind of run through some of the highlights from 2016. Thank you so much.
Such a good game. That was a great
Thank you all so much. And one thing I would ask that if you guys have any, since it's a new format, so if you have any feedback for us, we would love that. So if there's things you want to see different or want to see during our next presentation, we are more than happy to incorporate that in and would really welcome any feedback that you have. Kim raised up your identification, and this was something we wanted to make sure everyone had. It doesn't give you any access, but what it does is it certainly recognizes you when you come to the facility, and we would love when you do come to the games or any other events that you wear it so that, you know, folks here can know that you are a Sports Authority member, and I think that's just so important. All right, well, thank y'all so much, and I do think we have lunch today. Bob says we do have lunch right across the hall, and with that, yes, ma'am.
maybe after the event, since you guys have been so accommodating, maybe we could,
A
just get a
picture?
photo while John's here with us today.
Oh, yeah,
The rest
that's
of the
great.
team,
Well, why
that'd
don't,
be
you want to do
excellent.
that now, whenever y'all adjourn?
Yeah,
Okay,
just real
perfect.
quick, before you guys scoot out. Thank you. Our next meeting is March 16th. It will be at First Tennessee Park. We look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you for everyone participating today. And for the board, if you would leave your binder, I think we'll recycle those for our next meeting. And if there's no other business at this time, we are adjourned. Thank you.